Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Wes.
Happy holidays.
I love the holidays.
You too. You know what's tough for me, though?
What's that?
Well, I don't drink alcohol, and there's all these parties and dinners to go to, and I'm kind of afraid to bring a bottle of wine with me as a gift because I kind of think I'm going to choose the wrong one.
Mom, I don't drink either, and I have a solution for that.
Hmm.
Did you know that you can join the Community Wine and Spirits monthly wine club, the Mutual Satisfaction Society? You'll receive 3 carefully selected bottles every month, complete with tasting notes and detailed information on each wine, all for $90. Join in the next 24 hours and get 20% off your first shipment. Want fancier wine? We got you. Join the Mutual Satisfaction Society Plus for extra satisfaction. $150 will get you 3 very special bottles. Let us take the trouble out of selecting great wines that you will love. Your first shipment is 20% off just for listening to View the Right Thing. Join the community today at www.communitywineandspirits.com or DM us at CommunityWS.
All right, thanks.
You got it.
On this episode of View the Right Thing, it's a holiday dramedy that centers on the eccentric, tight-knit Stone family as they gather for Christmas. When Everett Stone brings home his uptight girlfriend Meredith to meet his free-spirited clan, tensions flare and misunderstandings abound. As Meredith struggles to fit in, romantic entanglements shift and family secrets surface, leading to a whirlwind of emotional revelations. Wes, Alexis, and special guest Meredith spread family cheer with their review of The Family Stone on View the Right Thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, welcome to another episode of View the Right Thing. I'm Wes.
And I'm Alexis.
Hi, Alexis. How are you?
Hi, Wes. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. It's just dawning on me that the people that are watching this already have a sneak preview to what I'm about to say. We have a guest.
Yay!
Yay! We have Meredith with us today. Hi, Meredith. How are you?
Hello, doing well, thanks.
Good. Yeah, you're
Welcome.
excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. Everybody get excited. So we're now gonna get into the holiday season. Alexis, what's going on in your world?
Oh, just getting a lot of sewing done.
Yeah, you're a sewist. I learned
am.
that word last year.
Yay! Yes. It's the newer phrase over saying seamstress. But I bought my website like 10 years ago, so and it's seamstress Alexis. So well, not changing that. But
you could always get a new URL and have it redirect the old one to the new one. So that way people that still type the old thing, it would just go. It's kind of like when you accidentally you're trying to go to MSN, and if you accidentally type or you're trying to go to Microsoft.com and you type in Microsoft, it still goes there because they account.
They
for
know that people do that sort of thing.
Fat fingers, the R's
That's
right above
wild.
the F next to the T.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Sure is. Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So you've been sewing, and you
Yes.
You're singing a bunch.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to
I'm
talk about your
singing
singing
a
at all?
bunch. Well, there's a cabaret that I'm doing that singing a couple of songs there, and that's fun. And I guess I gotta say it, but I'm gonna write a one-woman show that includes singing.
Yay.
So, having a lot of meetings with people to find out, how did you write your one-person show? And what are some, basically hints and tips of how to do it successfully?
So, the cabaret, I know not for your one-woman show, but for the cabaret,
Yes.
are you singing original things? Are you singing
No.
your covers? You're doing covers?
I'm doing covers of True Colors by Cyndi Lauper.
Good song.
And Not a Pretty Girl by, good Lord, did I just forget her name? Ani DeFranco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Doing my own little renditions of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every theater girl is into Ani DeFranco.
Really?
Am I wrong on that? I don't know. Maybe it's my age.
She was very popular during a span of time.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
But if there is something I do know about you, Meredith, it's that you are a big patron of the arts. You love like, Broadway and plays and things. So yeah.
We have a secret surprise coming up.
Oh,
that may be related to.
Oh, now I'm getting hints. I had no hints before.
Oh my goodness.
Just taking a drink from my Circle sponsor us.
Please and thank you.
Could you imagine if I got those sips for free? That'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we've definitely gone to a few musicals, Meredith and I.
Nice.
What's your all-time favorite play or musical, Meredith?
Rent is my first musical that I was obsessed with, and it's the one I've seen performed the most. I also am a huge Hamilton fan, so I would say those two.
We saw Hamilton together. It was pretty.
We had really good seats.
Cool. Amazing. Yeah, we could practically feel the spit from King George. What about you, Alexis? Awesome. Do you have a favorite play or musical?
Thoroughly Modern Millie. Probably The Drowsy Chaperone. Very funny. Highly recommend it if it ever comes to your local Broadway show place. Highly recommend. It's very fun and funny.
The Drowsy what?
The Drowsy Chaperone.
Chaperone.
Yes.
Right.
And then I think my first favorite musical was Hair. My grandparents had their record of the musical, and so I would play it on their record player over and over again. I thought it was so fun. And it's just, I don't know, it's a very fun, timely musical.
That's great.
I guess. Mm-hmm.
And you?
Yeah, what about you?
So I grew up more watching movie musicals. So that's a little bit more of my world of experienced musicals. So Oklahoma, I grew up in Oklahoma. So I've seen it a billion times. We've done Oklahoma on the podcast with Darling Beat. So if you haven't listened to it yet, it's actually a very good episode. I think it's very informative because Oklahoma is a very interesting, how they shot that was really interesting. They basically shot the entire movie twice, for different screenings. So kind of a cool, yeah. Because they shot it with like a Vista Vision type of things where it was ultra wide, but then they shot a standard one as well. And so they just basically did, instead of having both cameras at the same time, they just shot the whole thing twice.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, check out that episode.
Nice.
I'm a fan of Rent. I liked Hamilton an awful lot. I like Hamilton the more I see it because the more I understand what they're saying.
Right.
Because the first time you're I caught every 3 or 4 words. I get the gist of it, but and I also like plays as well. I really, really love just stage productions of things. I'm a big Neil Simon fan, sort of biased. Brighton Beach Memoirs, Biloxi Blues, Broadway Bound, that kind of stuff. Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all big. I'm a big fan of quirky, funny situations on stage that sort of snowball. So, and I'd love to see the play that goes wrong live.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it. Me and my family and I.
Yeah,
it's not the original Broadway cast. Not Broadway. Sorry, not the original British cast, but my mom and brother did see it when they were in New York City a couple years ago, and then it came here to Cleveland, and so we all went as a family. It was quite fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think you guys saw the original, the one that toured last year. The one that was on Broadway and then toured in the U.S. last year was Peter Pan, and then now there's a new one, and I don't know if it's using elements from the first one, but it's more of like the stage is a set like manor. It's like a house.
That's the one we saw.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it'd be cool to see that. I'm jealous. All right. So Meredith, let's learn a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from, and what is it you do?
So I am from Ohio, and I'm a Midwest girly. I have a background in Spanish education, and I lived briefly in Spain during college. But now I work for Overdrive. We're the company behind the Libby app. So it's a free app. You download it onto your device, and then you use your public library card, and you get access to all these free ebooks and audiobooks, magazines, tons of great content, which is perfect because I've always been a voracious reader. And I work on the school side of things. So I get to work with K-12 schools. I started the company working with schools internationally, and now I work with schools on the East Coast here in the US. And we have an app for K-12 schools called Sora. And it's very similar, but it has really great features for students, for teaching, for education purposes, but also for, developing that love of reading and coming back. So we have some new features like reading challenges and reading goals. And so it's fun to go in there and make sure I do my 15 minutes of reading every day so I can keep progressing.
Get your badge.
Get my badge. Exactly.
That's good.
Oh.
And your company also has an app that we've talked about on the podcast before, which is Canopy, which allows people to watch film via their library card at home. So they could just stream, A24 films or old clicks. Some of the movies that we've done here. I think The Old Dark House, which we did last year, was, at the time at least, was on Canopy. Pretty diverse company,
yeah.
And it seems like pretty well focused on providing tools that people need to continue to like read and be educated through media. Film.
Yeah. I think what one of our mission statements is to like delight and entertain you with the most recent books and movies and media. So
yeah, and we talk about film preservation a lot, especially when we talk about when things get pulled into the Library of Congress, and the sort of the meaning and the legacy behind that as well. So film preservation and access to film is important to us on the podcast. So I'm a big fan of Canopy. So, great. You mentioned that you lived in Spain for a little bit.
Yes. What part of Spain?
So right on the Mediterranean, in between Alicante and Valencia. So it's a town called Denia. And I don't know. It's just, I did not take advantage of being, a 20-minute walk from the Mediterranean. I took too many naps after class and not enough time at the beach. But no, it was a really great time living there, and I've visited a few times afterwards, and yeah, definitely love Spain.
And a fluent Spanish speaker.
Nice.
I try.
You try.
Try.
Oh, you did good.
Don't use it as much as I used to. When I started with Overdrive, I did get to use it because I was working with public libraries in Colombia, and I would have calls and training sometimes. Now I don't use it as much. And then prior to working at Overdrive, I worked at a debt collection agency where I was using my Spanish full time, calling people in Spanish and being like, "Hey, let's set you up on a payment plan."
Great.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Well, should we talk some movies?
Let's talk some movies.
All right, we watched a trailer this week. What did we watch this week?
We watched the trailer for Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Yes, we did. Boy, did we. It was so loud.
We sure did. I had to turn the volume down. It was really loud.
I didn't even bother to think. I could turn the volume down.
That's okay.
I didn't. I just suffered through it. I just let my ears bleed a little bit. What did you two think of the Avatar: Fire and Ash trailer?
Well, I have never seen either of the Avatar movies.
Yeah.
So don't really know what's going on.
Did it make you want to watch the Avatar movies?
Not particularly.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Alexis?
It was very overstimulating.
Yeah. Have you seen the other two Avatar films?
I've seen the first one. I prefer Fern Gully.
Yeah.
To be totally honest.
Yeah, like I like Dances with Wolves. I'm good.
Oh, yes. Just watch Dances with Wolves and Fern Gully and you're fine. You never need to watch. I don't know. It's very overstimulating.
Yeah. I've only seen the first one. And recently was like, the reason why I picked this one was specifically I could talk about this. I was like, maybe I'm going to have to watch this second one and then go see this new one because the word on the street is the Avengers Doomsday trailer is going to be attached exclusively to Avatar: Fire and Ash. So if I want to see that trailer, instead of hearing people talk about the trailer, I'm probably going to have to go see Avatar: Fire and Ash.
You could go to that film, but then leave after the
and be like, oh, I changed my mind. I want my money back.
Oh, I was saying you'd be out, but yeah. You could try.
$20.
Yeah, but then money goes towards
Well, the other rumor is that there may also be a teaser for the next Spider-Man film attached to it. So that's the other reason why I might have to go.
Oh, because this is owned by Disney now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, so Marvel. So Doomsday makes a lot of sense, but Disney has a hand in, even though that's a Sony film.
Okay.
Disney does have a hand. They sort of share ownership of the Spider-Man film.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's wild. So yeah. Do you want to see it?
Not really. Like, so it's so funny because I kind of checked out halfway through that trailer. Like, as loud as it was, I was like thinking about other things. I was like, oh, what Spider-Man trailer would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, so no, not really. They're just not for me.
Yeah. The main thing that I took away from it was there was someone who seemed to be a white man with dreads. And I was like, well, you know what? I think appropriation, baby, is part of the story they're telling. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very true.
But that's the main thing that stood out to me.
Yeah, no, that is true. Sort of like appropriation is a theme going back to the original film. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The effects look cool. I think this movie is made for a specific group of people who were probably pretty young when the first one came out, and so they've grown up with these films, and so they have a nostalgia for them. And also for kids now. It's sort of like Star Wars. Like, Star Wars is not really all that much for adults. It's really so they can sell toys and make little kids Star Wars acolytes. Because we've seen with the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, those movies were sort of hated when they came out, but now there's a resurgence of people going, no, those movies are amazing. I love those movies, and it's because those people who are saying that were children when those movies came out. So the new Star Wars movies are not very popular right now, and in 20 years, the people that were kids for those films will be like, no, they're great. So whatever. It's not for me.
It's a circle of life.
I'm glad some kids and some nostalgia people are gonna have a good time at Avatar. I'll be the guy sleeping in the back row. Sorry if I snore. Because I will. All right. Well, that was our trailer.
Okay.
That movie is coming out soon. Get your tickets now if you haven't already.
Oh boy, yes.
So we watched the first of our holiday films.
Yes.
I would say the second movie in a row with Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
And
unintentional.
The second movie in a row that kind of bummed me out. Made me want to cry. But yeah, so what did we watch, Alexis?
We watched The Family Stone.
Yeah. And what's that about?
An uptight businesswoman accompanies her boyfriend to his eccentric and outgoing family's annual Christmas celebration and finds that she's a fish out of water in their free-spirited way of life.
That sounds right. They were very bohemian.
So open-minded. It was really lovely.
Kind of what I think about when you talk about your grandparents, Alexis.
That's so funny.
And the film came out in 2005, so some of the concepts that this family is supporting were more, even more progressive than they would be seeing, I think, 20 years later.
Now it's kind of like, a gay couple with a baby? Like, yeah, all right.
A family.
Yeah. So let me ask Meredith first. Meredith, did you enjoy watching this movie?
I did. This is one of the few DVDs I actually own. It's not Christmas season. I can't say it's a complete Christmas season until I've watched it at least once each year. So I think the answer was always going to be yes.
Excellent. What about you, Alexis? Did you enjoy it?
I think it was a good movie.
Oh, put it on the poster. It was a good movie. I think it was a good movie. All right. I'm sure you'll expand on that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot, actually. I was a little bit surprised that I enjoyed it. I sort of going into it hopeful, but not the biggest Sarah Jessica Parker fan. I'm not a huge Diane Keaton fan. I do like Craig T. Nelson. I like Dermot Mulroney. And I like Rachel McAdams. But Sarah Jessica Parker sometimes outweighs those other things. So I was a little hesitant, cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought there were a few moments that were really, really well done, especially toward the end of the film, which we'll talk about as we get there. But
I do think that the fact that Sarah Jessica Parker's character is meant to be unlikable kind of is in her favor. You know what I mean? It's not like you're sitting there and you're like, I'm supposed to really love this character and I don't. You're like, okay, yeah, can she stop clearing her throat like that, please?
Yeah. I didn't think it was that pervasive in the film. I expected her to be doing it a lot more. Yeah, it's interesting you say that because Sarah Jessica, what drew her to this part was she had just had a kid. She wanted to take a break from acting for a little while, and they sort of convinced her to do this part because it was very different than anything else she had done. She had either played really, really sort of sophisticated, glamorous people or really beautiful Dumbos. And so I think this was kind of a really interesting neutral ground for her, and I guess that's why she decided to do this part. Diane Keaton was the first one in. She had read it. They spent a lot of time trying to make this film. Let me open up my notes here. The original title was "Fucking Hate Her."
Fucking love that.
And so the story is that the director, what's his name? What's his first name? I know his last name's Bazooka. His first name is Thomas Bazooka, or Bazooka. I don't know. I'm going to say Bazooka. So he had that sort of phrase pop up in his mind while he was making the bed or something one day. So his sister was dating somebody that the whole family didn't like, and so he created this story about bringing this type of person home for the holidays, and they were going to move forward casting it and getting it going, and Meet the Parents came out, and he was like, all the wind came out of his sails, and so they ended up delaying it, but a few years later they got like sort of they kind of did a few different iterations of the script, and then finally got to make the film, and Diane Keaton I think was the first to jump on board. So Alexis, why don't you get us going with your notes? Meredith, feel free to jump in wherever, and we'll see what we have to say.
Okay. Terrible font for the opening credits. I was like, what does that say?
It's nowhere near as bad as The Sandpiper.
True. That was like
for the worst
hands
font
down the
in
worst.
history.
100% agree. But I absolutely loved the use of sign language, like even throughout the whole film. I thought that was really beautiful.
Now that you mentioned the sign language, it was one of those things where it's funny because Meredith and I watched this together, and when we watch movies and they're Spanish and they don't have subtitles, she tells me what they say. And in this, she was like, what did they say? Because I know a tiny bit of sign language.
Yeah.
Enough to like sort of understand, like, there's a really great moment between Dad and Patrick near the end of the film. Maybe we'll talk about that as we get closer to the end. But it's funny. It's just like, oh, I think she was insulting them right there. Like you said, you're full of shit, that kind of stuff, which they don't outwardly say on camera. But so it's funny. But I did notice it's funny because I commented to Meredith. I said, it's interesting because they seem a little like loosey goosey with the signs. A lot of times they're doing like one-handed signs, which I thought was like, that's kind of in 2005, definitely a no-no. Nowadays, maybe a little bit more common just because people are always on their phones now and they're always recording some sort of social media content. So they only have one hand. So you'll see more one-handed signs when people are holding their phones. But in 2005, that wasn't a thing, like YouTube wasn't a thing.
That character, he has, I think, probably cochlear implants, or he has some kind of hearing device on his ears too. So he's not completely deaf. So I do think it also is probably a little bit of, this, we use the signs to enhance our conversation as a family, and it's a little bit looser in that regard.
Yeah. So I did a little like digging into it, and apparently everybody, they had a tutor on set, and everybody and I guess Diane Keaton was like, this was like very much her thing. She had already done sign language on a previous film. And so she was like super passionate about it and, trying to be really by the book about it. The guy that plays Patrick sort of treated it like dance choreography and sort of learning it that way, rather than just like the standard like rote way of learning sign language. But they sort of went with them not being so like great at it, because that's actually like really, really common. And when you have one person in a family that can't hear, and then a large family, it often is the case where they all sort of like learn it most of the way, but they're not like diligent about it. And I think probably to Meredith's point, him having the hearing aids or the cochlear implants probably was a factor as well.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting you said that about the choreography, because Brian White is actually in Stomp the Yard and some other films where, dance is incorporated in that. So I think that makes a lot of sense with his background.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
What's next in your notes, friend?
I love their house with that wraparound porch. I long for a wraparound porch.
Yeah.
I even exclaimed that as I was watching it. I was like, oh, how beautiful.
And did you catch the first Meet Me in St. Louis reference at the beginning of the film?
The first one?
Postcard turns into the actual house.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly they're fans.
No, I did not notice that. They are fans. Was there more than two?
No, but the other one is so like has so many layers to it. I really can't wait to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did
Cool.
listen to one of your older podcasts today in preparation for coming on here, and it was Meet Me in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
So you do know what I'm going to talk about.
Because during the movie, he's like, I'm going to say something about this. I was like, I know what you're going to say.
Oh, I have no idea what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful subtext by the director in this film.
Cool.
We'll get there.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to hear about it.
Yeah.
While watching this movie, like, I just think this family seems so lovely. Like, I wish I had a big family like that and had like a bunch of brothers and sisters and we all loved each other but goofed off. Like, I'm an only child, so I don't really understand that dynamic, but it seems so nice.
I think that might be one reason I really do enjoy this film. So there's the 5 children in the family. I'm one of 5. You know, when we get together with, you know, my siblings' significant others or, you know, spouses and their children, and it's very, I don't know, a lot of the moments of the family, you know, hugging or just plopping down on the one brother, plopping down on the other brother's lap and things like that. That's very familiar to me. I love that the oldest daughter, Susanna, always calls her dad daddy. Like, I still call my mom mommy. Like, so just, and she crawls into bed to like cuddle with her at one point when the mom lays down for a nap. So like, just those very warm feelings are very things that I love about growing up and even still with my family.
It's really funny that you use the word lovely, because I actually literally wrote that word in my notes here. I wrote, the family seems lovely, but also kind of dickish.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't have a filter.
Yeah,
when they're around each other.
So there's another note I sort of made about, and it kind of goes along with the sign language thing you're talking about, and that's you're right. There's no filter, but it's also there's something like really interesting with the Meredith character, because whenever you're the new person meeting a new family, like you're coming into this new family and you're an outsider, right? You're the one on the outside, and it's very awkward and you're really nervous about it, and you don't really sure how to like fit in with any individual personality. But there's a shorthand that the entire family has with each other that you're on the outside of. And in this case, the really interesting thing with it is it's literally another language. They're speaking another language that she doesn't understand. And so it's like, if you weren't already an outsider coming into this situation, add to the fact that they're all speaking another language too. I immediately felt bad for the Meredith character in the film.
Yeah.
Speaking of her name being Meredith and that also being my name, growing up, there weren't very many characters on shows or movies named Meredith. The first one that I really remembered was in The Parent Trap. The dad's girlfriend is named Meredith. And then in this, like, Meredith is kind of, you know, a less, not the nicest, friendliest person on the show. So I was always kind of like, why do Merediths always get a bad rap?
Well, but then there's Grey's Anatomy, right?
Yeah. So, and then that came out when I was in high school. So then Meredith, you know, there was the star of the show.
It does sort of make you wonder if it's people around your parents' age writing these things. Because you're named Meredith and you're sort of, you know, like you were a kid when The Parent Trap came out and you're an adult when Grey's Anatomy and this movie comes out. So, you know, I wonder if it's like, you know, people of the age that would have been like maybe your parents naming kids. You know, maybe there's some coincidence there. I don't know. I don't know. What else you got, Alexis?
Why is she wanting to stay in different bedrooms? She's a full-grown adult. Meredith wanting to stay in a different bedroom. That was so confusing to me.
So growing up, my mom was very much like, if you bring your significant other back home with you, you will sleep in different rooms until you're married. Like, that had been her stance. So back in 2005, when my stepbrother brought his fiance, who they were living together home, she would be like, all right, Matt, you get this room. Cassie, you get that room. So I don't know if maybe for the character Meredith, it was like, it just feels wrong to share a room at your parents' house. It's disrespectful because maybe that's how she grew up. I don't know. But I can definitely understand also the other side of it. Like, everyone's cool with it. You can stay in there.
Yeah.
I also sort of, maybe some other things like later in the film influenced my feelings about Meredith and where I think she kind of came from. But I sort of got the feeling that, like, she's not conservative Republican necessarily, but I get the feeling that she's, like, at least got a foot in that world because she works in, like, finance and stuff. And then she also has, like, this really, like, strict view on things, like staying in the same room and the preconceived notion of what the family is like. And then, like, being very, like, reactive to the hint that maybe she's a racist or maybe she's homophobic, right? So she's very, very sensitive to those things. And I sort of wonder if it's because, I don't know if she, if her character was raised in a conservative household or if it's because that's just the world that she lives in, because she's probably working in a man's world. Let's face it, most women are, unfortunately. Maybe that affected some of those decisions and like why she didn't want to do that. I don't know. Just my feeling about her. There's weird hair on my keyboard.
She does seem to be tightly wound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like at the beginning of the film, her hair is tightly wound in a very tight bun on the back of her head.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of
throughout the movie, like it's a looser bun, and then it's down, and then she tries to pull it back up again Christmas morning, and that's I never thought about that, but the
it's
symbolism
like indicative of her how she's feeling.
Right.
Oh, yes. And the set dressing in this movie is so beautiful, except for one thing. There is one thing that bugs the crap out of me, and it's the parents' bedroom. The bed is not in the in between the two windows. They moved it to the side, probably for some like ease of filming purposes, so that it was directly through the door. But it looks stupid to have part of the bed frame like cutting off part of the window. That bothered me. That was like,
I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
go back and fix it. No,
I'm sorry.
It's only 20 years later, right?
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about this in About Time. A light just came on behind me. Let me fix that.
Yeah.
We talked about this in About Time, and we talked about how the house felt very lived in, and how this thing was like really, really appropriate everywhere. And I definitely bought that in when it came down to the wallpaper, and those are things I noticed in this film that felt very real to me.
Mm-hmm.
What did the parents do for a living? What do you think? Did we learn that?
Yeah. At one point, Sybil, the mom, calls Kelly, the dad, professor, but I think he was like spouting wisdom, but I don't know if that was a call to his profession or not. She talks about her writing at one point.
That's right.
But I don't know that we ever know like what their careers were.
Because they got some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do got money. That's a nice big house in New England somewhere.
And I think the only people whose real profession we know about are, oh my God, Meredith, her sister, and Ben? No, not Ben.
Yeah, they do.
Ben oh, good.
I was going to say, because at one point, because when Julie, Meredith's sister, shows up, the mom is like, "Oh, Julie, Ben does documentaries. Da 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 da. You guys should like talk and everything." And then Ben, he's like trying to deflect that, and he goes, "Yeah." And Thad's an architect, and Rachel McAdams' character, Amy's a teacher. So like a few of the careers do get thrown out there, but I don't think we know Patrick's.
We know Everett
career.
They talk about Everett's because when she tells a story about why he was, where were they? In Kyoto?
Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong. like what he was there to do this thing, but he was also going to go try and see this Buddha statue. And so they referenced his job there. So I guess we did kind of learn, but it is all sort of said like as sort of like throwaways to sort of like poke at Meredith, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. Interesting.
The discussion when of how they met each other.
That's a great scene.
It's really obnoxious and so unnatural, but like the whole time I was like, stop talking. Please stop talking. Why are you still talking? And at the same time, I'm like, this is her. She is uncomfortable. And so she's just going to be like very proper and very direct. I think she's just like she's a type A, put the square box through the square hole kind of person.
I also wondered something about that scene. And I think if I caught this right, there's additions of people in some of the scenes, right? Like she starts with a certain group of people, but by the time she gets to the end, there are more people involved in the conversation. And so what I sort of got out of that is, because I have been in this exact situation, you have to tell the same story over and over and over again. And so for anybody that's in the room every time, you're hearing it 3 times, right? So that's sort of the vibe I got. I get that. I get that every once in a while people are like, oh yeah, tell this story. And I'm like, I've already told the story to everybody in the room. And then one person's like, well, I haven't heard it. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I have a friend who loves to tell the same story over and over again. And they're just like, have you heard this? And I'm like, maybe. And they start telling it. And I'm like, I've already heard that. But they really enjoy telling the story. So I'm just going to let them go through it. And I'm like, yep. And that happened. Oh, that's so funny. Like,
is it me talking about Chicago Fire?
No.
Because I told that story like 5 times on this podcast. Which, by the way, Dermot Mulroney on Chicago Fire.
Is he really?
Yeah, over the last 2 years, I think.
Oh, I've never seen it.
He's the new fire chief.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Chicago Fire started filming 2 months before I decided to move to California.
Yeah, son of a gun.
So, of course, I was like, oh, I'm going to California for more acting work. And I was like, shoot, they're staying in Chicago.
A lot of the leads are from California, though. They live in California.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
True.
Yeah. Some of them also live in New York.
Yes. People can travel. They don't film every single day of the year.
Yeah.
So they can like go out there for 3-5 months. And then
a few of them live there. A few of the regulars, the people that have been on the show from the very beginning,
nice.
Live in Chicago. They got cast in Chicago.
Wasn't the guy who played Steve on Sex and the City on it?
You're talking to the wrong guy. What was the actor's name? Here, I'll look it up.
I don't recall.
Why don't you tell us your next note instead of us talking about TV shows?
Yeah. My next note is when they were walking through the house and you see the ceramic tree with the lights. It like plugs it. That was my Nani and Papa have one. It's not the white one. It's a green one. But like I feel like that was a staple in a lot of homes.
My mom has one, and every year I remember helping her take it out. And there's these big fat red like bulbs, and you stick them in the holes, and then you like pull the little dial to turn it on. And and it always had this really fine like thread stuff for like a skirt for it, and I want to say it was like angel hair or something like that. And
Doily?
No.
Okay.
It's like, imagine it looks fluffy, but I was taught at a young age you can't play with it because it's actually made out of glass or fiberglass or something.
Oh, it's that fiberglass stuff?
Yeah. So I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, anyways, so we have
cool.
That. Yeah. By the way, Steve Brady,
nice.
Character's name is Steve Brady.
Yes.
And he's played by David Eigenberg, and he is indeed on Chicago. He's been on Chicago Fire since the very beginning. He's one of my favorite characters in the show.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that he was on that show. Amazing. Oh, this next note.
Mm.
When Sybil like defiantly says he intends to give that girl my mother's wedding ring. I wouldn't want that. And I was like, ooh, there's some spice.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I understood how quickly they knew that he wasn't right. Because the crux of it is they're not right together. But how did they know? It can't have just been from Amy telling everybody, right?
I mean, I think him walking around the house in a suit and tie was part of the giveaway. They're like, why are you wearing like Amy kept saying, like, your tie's crooked, loosen your tie. Like, that wasn't him. He was coming back into his like childhood home being very buttoned up like Meredith is, and I think they could just see, even just from how he was carrying himself.
Don't you think they knew before they even walked in the door? That's the vibe I got, was that they knew before he walked in there. Because, like, even before they had a chance to really, like, talk and for him to walk around the house, they took a photo without her.
Yes.
As she's awkwardly standing in the door. They, like, turn their backs to her. The dad turns his back to her. And, I don't know, it just felt like, I get what you're saying. I think that definitely solidifies the idea. But for some reason, I got the feeling immediately in this that they already had it out for her. Like, they just already made up their minds.
Well, yeah, it seemed like they did have some preconceived notions from what Amy had told them about this random dinner that she went
to. It's Amy.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
And I mean, it could potentially also be like, you know, what's he communicating back about his current life and his relationship? Like, are they seeing him be true to himself?
Yeah.
In these ways? And like, I think it's a little bit later, but when Meredith is explaining their origin story and how they met in Hong Kong, and then you know, the dad, Kelly, he's like, oh, so how was that Buddha, how was that monastery? And Everett says, oh, I didn't go. Like, it's just so telling that like he's not following the things that bring him joy and that he's passionate about.
That's
right.
fair.
And he brings that up more than once.
Yeah. You talked about sort of like the scenes changing, and like seeing them go around the house, and then they're in the car, and she's telling the story and stuff. That's actually one of the criticisms I had for the beginning part of the film that I didn't love, and that's like we were just suddenly in another room, like just suddenly in another location altogether. So it was like I felt like it was maybe a little abrupt. Like all of a sudden we're at the inn, and then we're here, and then we're there. Even in the house, they would be having one conversation, and it wouldn't quite feel like that conversation was totally over. And then they would be like upstairs with the same characters in it was like almost like they teleported. I would have liked a little bit more time to live in the house at the beginning of the film. I thought the second half of the movie felt paced like really, really well, because we got a lot more like breathing room for everything. So that'd be my one real criticism. And that's really only in the first half of the film.
I wonder if that's intentional. Sorry,
yeah,
to make
that's what I was going to say.
Like Meredith felt she's coming into this new house, and like now we're in this room, and okay, I'm talking to these people now. Like, are you meant to feel that discomfort?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I didn't love it, but maybe.
Yeah.
Next note.
I agree. Meredith said what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, it was perfect.
No. It's a really good observation. I maybe I think on it more. Maybe if I saw it a second time, maybe next year.
You will.
I'm sure you'll watch it again.
Yeah.
This season.
This season, you think? Maybe. We'll see.
But man, the whole family kept telling him not to marry Meredith.
Yeah. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But would you like, I don't know. I guess the question is like, if your family really felt passionately about it, would you want them to stay quiet and let you figure it out yourself? Or would you, like, I mean, obviously the delivery is everything, and that like some of the family members did not handle that in a very well way, very well. But I I don't know. Would you want someone to say, hey, are you really sure about this?
Well, and I think that's maybe one of the lessons in the movie, right? Is that is what the mom figures out by the end of the thing, is that she has to allow him the space to figure things out on his own. And if he says he's happy, like you can't fix everything for everybody. And even if it's a mistake, you can't prevent them from making every mistake, and they have to learn from them. And he does figure it out before the end of within 2 days. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it was wild that after they'd only known her for maybe 12 hours, aside from Amy, maybe 12 hours, they're like, you can't marry her. Well, you can't really know. This Meredith is just like not good around new people. And some people aren't good around new people, and they need to like warm up to them. So I felt like it was a bit fast for them to be like, no, they were right. But also it was really fast.
Yeah. Well,
I felt like a lot of things happened really fast.
I personally don't always give people the opportunity to tell me, right? Like, I just made a huge move, and I knew what I wanted to do and what I needed for my life. And I talked to a few people about it ahead of time, very few people. But there are plenty of people who are very, very important to me that I didn't consult with, because it wasn't their decision. It was my decision, and what I knew I needed. And so like what other people think I need doesn't really matter to me. So, so to answer the question, maybe I would want people to not say something, just from my anecdotal experience, right? Like everybody's experience is different, and it's certainly not necessarily true for the world at large, but
that's fair. There was a very clever, very subtle way of showing that Ben just got high with his dad. All you see, like I had to rewind it because I was like, what is that? He's like tapping something out on the bleachers. And I rewound it and I was like, oh. Well, and the dad's just eating the brownies.
The brownies. Yeah, I was like, oh, the brownies. Well, and so in that moment, I wasn't sure who was sick. I wasn't sure if it was the dad or the mom. Like my initial thought was it's the mom, but then it cut to that scene like immediately after. Because what did the mom say? The mom say like, who else knows? How long? Yeah. Does anyone else know?
Who else knows?
The first time I saw this movie, because Susanna, the older daughter, she falls into bed with her mom, and Sybil turns around and asks who else knows. And I thought it was Susanna's marriage she was asking about.
Me too.
Because Susanna's very pregnant. She's there with her daughter, who's probably like 7 or 8. And everyone's asking about her husband, John, and she's like, oh, he gets in tomorrow.
Yes.
And she does talk to him on the phone a couple of times. But when Sybil asked that question, I thought, oh my God, like they're getting a divorce. So it took me longer the first time I watched it to realize what really was going on.
I will say, fortunately for the three of us, I'm the person in the dead parent club. And so like immediately I was like, oh, the mom is sick. But then it cut to them getting high on the bleachers and dad's eating pot brownies. And I thought, oh, maybe the dad's sick. And that's why he's eating pot brownies, is because he's medicating because he's sick.
I don't think the brownies had any pot in them.
I don't either.
You don't think
they were just regular?
You just had the munchies. Yeah. After I think they smoked a pipe. Yeah.
No, yeah, maybe. I thought maybe one smoked the pipe and the other was eating like.
That would be a lot of. That'd be too many.
No. I'm saying
the amount of brownies that were there, that would be too much.
Well, they're in like a container. It's not like he's eating all of the brownies. I'm just saying, I thought Ben smoking and the dad doesn't. Cause so my dad, when he got sick, I think it was, he couldn't tolerate the smoking, but he could eat like an edible. So like maybe again, my anecdotal like experience like informed that decision a little bit. So I sort of thought, oh, Ben is smoking and the dad is so it's like they're doing this thing together in their own ways. But yeah, whatever, they get high together. I do like the idea that they just had the munchies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually, I didn't consider how the mother was sick. I didn't consider it correctly because I was like, does she have dementia? Is like that why she's so irritable? Because I felt like she was a little spicy.
She
I mean,
was
at
really
least
spicy.
Meredith.
Spicy.
Yeah.
She really was.
Spicy lady.
I do real quick on the bleacher scene specifically. So they shot this movie. They wrote snow into the story, and you know when you shoot a movie, you don't know if it's going to snow or not. It did.
Yeah.
It turned out there was a blizzard and a massive snowstorm, and that bleacher scene. Apparently, there was a blizzard going on, but on film, it's really difficult to see rain and it's really difficult to see snow. So you couldn't really tell that they're sitting outside in a blizzard, but like they were miserably cold and the cameras froze.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So quite the ordeal to shoot this.
It is hard to film when it's really cold out and you're not like super, super, super bundled up.
Yeah.
I've maybe told this before, but when I shot one film, the director would count us down so that we could shiver until he said 1. Yeah. And then we'd be like, action. Okay, I'm fine. I'm not cold at all.
Was that the one where you're all wet? I feel like you told me you did one where you were in water or you were soaking. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Nope, that was not me.
Maybe it was Nick or someone.
That might have been Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that sounds terrible. No. So good on them because I could not tell that it was nearly as cold as it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meredith, we're not skipping over any of your notes, are we?
Oh.
No, I'm chiming in as we go along.
Okay, good.
Well, I jumped to Meredith's sister has shown up. Sarah?
Julie.
I don't know where I got Sarah from. So Julie shows up, and just the way that he looks at her, I would go, is he going to fall for his girlfriend's sister? I think I'd only ever seen like the first 10 minutes of this movie. Mm-hmm. So everything after that was a total surprise.
I was on the verge of really disliking this film when she showed up. I don't like stories about cheating.
Right.
And had she given in to him at the end when she like opens the door and stuff and it's the dad,
right?
And she's a little bit disappointed. Had it been him and they had hooked up or whatever, even if they didn't like sleep together, it would have like kind of killed the movie for me. So I'm glad they were smart enough to
towed
go
the line.
Direction. Yeah. They definitely flirted with it and then left it to be told as a denouement essentially. Mm-hmm. So
right.
Anyways. So Claire Danes shows up.
Yes.
And yeah, he's stunned by her and Dad can tell.
But had you picked up on the way that Ben, which is Luke Wilson's character, had you picked up on the way he was looking at Meredith?
100%.
100%. Well, like he's standing at the car and like like shoving his package in her face, essentially.
Well, and even before that, Everett picks up on it in like when they first meet. He's like, "Why are you staring at my girlfriend?" Essentially. So yeah, definitely picked up on that, and I was definitely uncomfortable with that too. I was like, I don't want it to be that, you know. I'm glad how it turned out, but I was definitely worried for a little while.
Yeah. Oh, and the odd, I think you should try on my grandmother's wedding ring. What?
Yeah.
And that's like everyone's like trying to tell him why that's a bad idea.
Yeah. He's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah. We skipped over.
Did we?
Because that doesn't happen until Christmas Day, right? We skipped over the Christmas Eve dinner.
Yeah, but before that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So Meredith is prepping for the breakfast that she's gonna make on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And Patrick's like, "Oh, mushrooms isn't Everett allergic?" And then like everyone is like pointing out that he's allergic. But that's wild to me that they never say how long they've been together, but the fact that he's planning to propose to a woman who doesn't know he's allergic to mushrooms is like a red flag.
Also, a little bit of a red flag on Patrick, because he sat there and watched her make that whole thing. He watched her chop those mushrooms up and didn't say a goddamn word until it was too late.
Well, we don't know if he was in the room during that part.
We do. We watched them since then because he was preparing stuff while she was preparing stuff.
Yeah, maybe he thought she was doing one with mushrooms, because there were two big pans, so maybe one was supposed to be with, one was without. Like, I'm going to stand up for my Patrick.
No, I love Patrick,
the brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote Patrick's the MVP of the film.
Yeah.
but we'll get to that at the end.
Okay. I didn't realize I had jumped over this, but the Christmas Eve dinner, when I was like, boy, this conversation about being gay is so incredibly inappropriate. Like, I just wanted her to stop talking. Yeah. Often I wanted her to stop talking.
Yeah.
The family gave her so many outs too. They were like deflecting with humor, and like, like they gave her so many opportunities to just stop. And she
they even
just
said
had
that's enough.
Yeah, yes. And she was like, I need to explain myself. I need you to know I'm not a bad person. And it's like, she just let it snowball.
Yeah, it's funny because I definitely was in that moment where it's just like, oh, please stop talking, girl. But there's also this other thing that I thought was really smart, and it's very, very realistic. And at this point, everyone in the family, except for Everett, knows about the mom. Or at least we think they do.
Okay.
They've hinted enough that everybody knows what's going on. And we know Thad knows, because when they go ring shopping, he asks Everett, is it about mom? And he's like, of course it's about mom, but Everett doesn't know what Thad's talking about at that point. And I can't remember what the reference was for, what was Rachel McAdams?
The long hug.
The long hug. Oh yeah, she picked up on it after Ben.
Oh, when Ben came home from getting high.
So everybody but Everett and Meredith know. And there's this thing that happens when you're going through this, right? Where you don't know, you're upset, you're angry, you're sad, of course, because you feel helpless, but you also are super, super angry, right? And you don't know where to put that anger. Mm-hmm. And here comes Meredith with the perfect opportunity for them to all place their anger somewhere about this horrible thing that's happening to Sybil. And I thought that was like a really nice, like, desperation moment on the family's part. And it was a really nice, realistic thing to put in the film. And it also sort of like advanced Meredith's character at the same time. I was very impressed with that scene.
Yes. When they, so Meredith angrily steals the sob poorly, and then Ben goes out and is like, I know where to take you. And they go to this, I guess, the local bar. Mm-hmm. And just watching her get progressively more and more intoxicated is kind of adorable because she really opens up.
Yeah.
And I just love how he's like, you have a freak flag. You just don't know how to fly it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think she needed that more loosey-goosey, opposite personality type of person. Mm-hmm. And I think that Everett was trying to be just like her, which is why they didn't, like, two type A's don't really work well.
Yeah.
You need to have that, like, balance of like, hey, chill out. Hey, get your act together. Like, those two tend to work really well together.
Well, I think they both, and to your point, I think they both were trying to be what they thought they needed to be for that other person, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So, like, sort of having that freedom to just, like, relax and be themselves, like, I don't know,
absolutely
fixes everything, I guess.
Right. I I just got to know, how did the car end up back at the house and all messed up? Because, like, I thought they passed out under, like, next to a barn or something.
They drove drunk.
And high.
My theory is they chilled in the car for a little while till they were okay to drive home, and then Meredith didn't really remember getting back home because when she wakes up in Ben's bed, she is very surprised.
There is a little bit of an argument too that maybe Ben wasn't consuming that much, that she was doing most of the consuming of alcohol, and so he may not have been. Like, every time we see him and they're talking and stuff, like, she's dancing with Brad and stuff. She's not dancing with Ben. So, like, and then they have, like, a pretty normal conversation in the car outside the bar. I can't remember what they were outside. They were outside something really weird, too. There was, like, some business in the background. I was like, what is that? So they have, like, a pretty, like, normal conversation in the car. So it's very possible that Ben was not that impaired and was able to drive them back. Well, we can maybe say.
She probably had 4 beers, and for her, she's tiny, and that's a lot. And for him, 4 beers is nothing.
I think she had more than 4 beers.
They also had some empty shot glasses over there.
Yeah, well, when they are at the bar at the very first moment, we see him at the bar, and he's at the bar getting 2 beers. And he comes to the table. She's already got 4 bottles in front of her, and he gives her another beer. So she was wasted.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think he had like 1 bottle in front of him, and there was like a whole bunch in front of her. So, and you're right, they definitely had shots too.
Yes.
And then she asked for pot.
Yeah,
I know. The perfect brother to ask for.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I do love how when she meets Brad, she's like, "I'm inviting you. Come over to Christmas." Like, it's amazing, and like, he can obviously see how drunk this lady is. So the fact that like he takes her up on it, I think does tell you like he does want to see Amy. Like,
oh yeah,
you know. So I really like that.
Yeah.
That was really cute. And God, the next morning when she does wake up in Ben's bed and the dad opens the door, Kelly's like, "Oh."
Oh yeah.
It's like, I saw nothing.
I wish this
never happened.
I wish I never walked in. Okay, so can we talk about the night that night before the montage?
Yes.
Because that's our other Meet Me in St. Louis moment, right? So a couple things. I thought there was a really beautiful moment with Thaddeus and Patrick when they're walking through the town. It's like in the middle of the night, and he's like, "Oh, this is really beautiful," and then Thad tells him, "No, you're beautiful." And I thought that was like such a sweet moment. They didn't like,
but it's signed. It's not.
It's all signed. It was like it wasn't subtitled, and it was just this moment between these two people that like meant a lot. I just thought it was a really sweet moment. But so what's her name? Susanna?
Julie?
No, not Julie.
Susanna, the older sister.
So the older sister. Similar to Judy Garland's character, the older sister, is watching Meet Me in St. Louis, and as everybody's like sort of retiring for the night, we see something happen that happens in Meet Me in St. Louis, which is we hear Judy Garland sing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" as Christmas Eve turns into Christmas Day, the middle of the night. And I thought that was a really nice like juxtaposition that they included that sort of transition of the older sister like experiencing it becoming Christmas morning while everyone's sort of asleep. And then there's this really beautiful subtext that this is what Meredith I think knows where I'm going to go with this, is that there's a moment in that song that's really, really meaningful that they cut out of "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" in Meet Me in St. Louis. And we talked about this in the episode, so feel free to pause this and go listen to our Meet Me in St. Louis episode. And that's there's a line that Judy Garland didn't want to sing because she's singing this song to her little sister, to this young actress. And in the song, she the line is have yourself a merry little Christmas. It may be your last. Next year, we'll all be living in the past. And it's so meaningful to this particular story because this is Sybil's last Christmas. And in a year, exactly what we see at the end of this film is that they're all thinking about the past. And that's sort of where their hearts live at that point. And I thought that was like the greatest thing they could have done in this movie. In retrospect, the photograph at the end is pretty meaningful too. But you know, pretending this was 2005 or 2006 and we're watching this, that's the most meaningful thing I think in the film. That was really beautiful.
Oh yeah, it was. And then the conversation between Everett and Sybil in the kitchen is so beautiful. Like they are, it looks like a mother and son sharing this very intimate conversation. It was like,
yeah.
And I teared up. Jeff teared up.
The melting away of the melting away of all the things that the like animosity that they're harboring toward each other in that moment is, I think, like so endearing and truthful. It's I think to your point that it feels very real and that's pretty nice to see.
You can really feel the grief.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and Dermot Mulroney, like his the emotions that he conveyed, it was very beautiful and so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, both Jeff and I was like, do you have dust in your eyes too? And just going to that beautiful gift that that Meredith gave to each of the children and the mother. That was such a beautiful, like that was, I definitely started crying a little bit because it was such a very thoughtful gift. Like Meredith is not callous. I do think she's maybe a little socially awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the giving the gift sort of like gives herself a gift in that moment too. So, you know, she does this really thoughtful thing and doesn't quite even realize how thoughtful it is. She just does, I think maybe sort of speaks to like the core of a character. And it also, all of their reactions to it, especially Amy and especially Sybil, shows Meredith that there is room for her in this family. And I think that like that's how we're able to get to the very end of this, like the resolution or the denouement at the end, is because she realizes that she can fit in.
And I do like how each of the children has a very tender moment with Sybil, and I feel like the one with Amy is when they all open the gift. It's the picture of Sybil, and she says, "That's you, kid. Like Amy, that's when I was pregnant with you." And that is a really, really powerful and tender moment. I was part.
Yeah, I agree. Also, that photo, actually, Diane Keaton, it's doctored. She never had children.
She never birthed children.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes, she was never pregnant with children.
Yeah.
And so she gave the director a bunch of photos. They chose that one because it was easiest for them to doctor up. And so just wanted to point that out for our trivia nerds.
It was very beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful photo.
Ugh. And then right immediately after giving this gift, Everett wants to talk to her, and she's like, "No, I know you're going to say I don't want to marry you." And I was like, "Oh, no." Like, you know, she kind of blames him for humiliating herself. But I think she kind of did it herself. Like, she could have said, "Okay, let's go into the other room. I want to tell you."
She also is just carrying so much guilt and shame and like stress for the thing she thought she slept with him the night before. So I think that like speaks to like how like kind of panicked she is in that moment.
And I think to your point about her being panicked too, she's just been delivered this moment of acceptance by the family, and she doesn't want that to end, right? And so here he comes to deliver this thing that he thinks is that she thinks he thinks is this big deal, and so she panics about not wanting to ruin this opportunity that she finally has.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just realized we jumped over another thing. Something else from the montage.
Yeah.
And that's when Everett and Julie had their connection. And they were walking through the town and talking about their dreams and how Julie is a more adventurous person, and that's what he's been longing for.
The totem pole conversation.
Yeah. And how she's like, why don't you just go back to the temple? Just go back.
One of the one question I wrote down, the quote, it was, do you feel like you chose your life?
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's really what Julie brings to the story is like, are you doing what you're passionate about? Like, are you doing what you want to be doing? And it kind of circles back to at the beginning when they arrive at the house and Everett is unpacking his suitcase and Meredith sees, why do you have all of your childhood trophies in the drawer? Why aren't those on display? And I think it speaks to the fact that Everett has been pushing down and compartmentalizing parts of himself and not being true to himself.
Yeah, he definitely fights that. They refer to him at one point as like the golden child or something, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think there's like this idea that maybe there was a lot of pressure with that, and so he sort of lost who he was in a desire to like maybe fight that pressure, or maybe to succumb to it. I don't know.
Or be what everyone wants him to be.
Yeah, to succumb to,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you rewound time because there was something else that I do have a note about in the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. In that moment when she's watching, the dad comes in and Amy is laying on her lap and he's like, she's nicer this way, I think.
She's nice like that.
She's nice like that. And I just thought that was a really fucking hilarious line to have. What a wild thing to say about your kid.
Some kids are terrors.
Yeah. I just thought it was really funny. Also, okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to talk about music. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I haven't seen Meet Me in St. Louis, but the fact that you guys, when you talk about it, one of the sisters is asleep while Judy Garland is singing that.
Yeah.
So the fact that Rachel McAdams' character Amy is asleep and on Susanna's lap seems like a good callback to that film.
Yeah, so she's singing it to the youngest kid, youngest daughter, who is a little bit of a terror in Meet Me in St. Louis. She's a little bit of like, she's kind of tomboyish, and she's like out working with the Iceman, like doing deliveries, and like, I don't know, she's like being the brave kid on Halloween, and and murdering the scary guy who lives down the street. So yeah, that does fit. I was going to say also, our boy Michael Giacchino did the music for this.
Yes,
and he actually separated Julie Garland's vocals out of the original song and redid the music himself, so it would sound really like present, and they'd be able to like customize it for this movie, and then layered her vocals back into this film. And on the soundtrack, they have both versions.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can hear the difference. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm going to have to listen to the soundtrack. Okay, have we caught up with things that we jumped over?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Yes, we have.
Okay. So immediately after Meredith says that she's not going to marry him, she talks about how she believes that she slept with his brother. And then this very hilarious, like almost slapsticky fight around the house brought this like wonderful levity after such a heavy, like, oh, there's this emotional thing. And I've just started weeping a little bit, and then, oh no. And then it's just like, didn't there was like some sort of wacky-ish Christmas song that was playing in the background?
Yeah. It was like dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it was a Nutcracker.
From the Nutcracker? Yeah.
Mhm.
It was very apropos. And Meredith grabbing the dishes out of their fridge, and then the door knocks her down, and she's covered in eggs and
Strata.
Thank you.
As soon as she stacked one on the other when she was taking them out, I said, "Oh no, girl."
Yeah, that is not going to work. Oh my goodness. And then just more people keep falling into this concoction.
Yeah.
It was a really beautiful way for I feel like the three tensest, what am I trying to say? Like the three women who had the tensest relationship with each other.
Yeah.
They got to laugh and be silly and fall around in food.
And watch the guys be idiots.
Yes, exactly. How fortunate that there was already a paramedic there who could treat their wounds.
Yeah. I love that he drove the ambulance there.
Right? And, just when they're underneath the table, when Ben and I've forgotten his name. Thank you, Everett, are under the table, and Ben's like, "You can't marry her," or like something to that effect.
You don't love her.
You don't love each other. Oh. That was the first. I feel like that was the first time, because a lot of them said like, "You don't love her. He doesn't love her." Like they're talking about, the family's talking about it.
Yeah.
This is the first time that he said, "You don't love each other."
That's
so like, it's not even it's not that you're making a bad choice for you. It's not the right choice for her either.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Luke Wilson in that whole thing chipped a tooth while making this film. So he needed to get a repair, so Diane Keaton gave him the number for a dentist. When he called the number, it was actually the number for a psychologist. As a prank. As a prank, Diane Keaton did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very funny. Oh my gosh. What happened next? I was too focused on what was being said and talked about, but I'm still upset that Meredith put her nasty, dirty shirt back on that had like raw egg in it. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That's so disgusting.
Meredith said the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I'd be asking somebody for a t-shirt.
Right. Yeah, that was bizarre. But like, it gave him the opportunity to ask her to take her shirt off.
Yeah. Well, she did get another shirt from him.
She did. But that part was very unbelievable.
Yeah, that she just left it on.
Oh, she
put it back on. Or did she just leave it on, though?
I don't think she ever took it off. But I don't know that she took her shirt off in front of him. I kind of read the scene as he's like, go take a shower, change your clothes. You smell like puke.
Yes. Which is true, because from what I understand, Strata is made with Parmesan cheese. So she's got egg and Parmesan cheese all over herself, which smells disgusting. Yeah. Apparently, she was really intent on like, give me that shirt back. Like that Sarah Jessica Parker was like, I want to be wearing the shirt. And they were like, it's kind of gross. And so they would have to like spritzer to like reconstitute it a little bit to make it
look gunky.
To make it look gunky again, to make it look wet again.
Gross.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it wasn't real egg.
God, who knows?
Like, I hope it was just some other concoction. Ugh.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so she's changed into her shirt. The searching for Julie. The bus stop. Like, as you know, he's trying to plead for Everett is trying to plead for Julie not to go, and she should just stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, does she leave? Does he get on the bus? What's happening? And I see the bus drive off, and I'm like, I swear to God, if that bus stops.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. The bus is going to stop down the road, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes a Hollywood ending is okay.
But it was like a limited, it wasn't like full Hollywood. She still got back on the bus.
I like that they make plans for the future.
Right.
Like they don't do something in that moment.
Yeah, I do question whether or not she actually got back on the bus, or if that was just a line she said to like get back in. We don't know. We don't see it. We don't see the family again after.
We see Everett walking by himself through the snow back to the car where his dad's waiting.
Oh, we do?
Because it's very like a Rocky moment, because he has like his injury and his hood's up and like yeah. So she gets back on the bus.
Okay,
yes. But I was like, I legit typed out, the bus stopping. Girl, you've known this man for maybe 24 hours, and he's your sister's recent ex.
Yeah, but she tried on the ring. She knows what she's getting.
Or yeah. She knows that it fits, kind of.
That ring
yeah. Right. But then I was like, but her sister is trying to hook up with his brother, so like does it equal out?
It's very weird. The whole situation ends very weird. I'm okay with it. Like, it's a fun movie. It's still a very weird situation.
And like everyone was cool with it. Like, that's just so wild. Meredith, if that happened in your family, would it be as cool to your family?
Probably
like
not,
they all seemed really okay with everything that occurred.
Yeah.
No.
That's the movie part of it, I feel like, is
Okay. So then we jump forward. You just assume that it's next. Oh, yes.
Well, we have a moment. And this is where I wrote Patrick was the MVP of this movie.
Okay.
So we see Sybil staring at the snow. She's like completely lost in thought, right? And he comes in and he's like, "It's time." Patrick,
it's time.
It's time for dinner. He's there to tell her it's time for her last Christmas meal she's ever going to have with her family. And Patrick, God love him, the entire goddamn movie has been preparing Christmas dinner so she doesn't have to prepare her last meal with her family. What a beautiful thing. It's my second favorite thing after the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. My second favorite thing in this movie is the idea that we've seen Patrick chopping things up. You know, we've seen him getting everything ready, and he was doing her this like kindness. I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I completely forgot to mark that down.
Now we can jump forward.
Okay. I see them driving through freshly fallen snow. No other car has driven up into the driveway since it snowed. And I was like, is this the next Christmas? I go, if there's a kid in that back seat, it's the following year. And then he walks around the other boy.
No,
Dad. Thad walks around with the baby, and I was like, yes, it's the next Christmas. And like kind of surprised that SJP was still there. Like Meredith and Ben like were a legit item. And then who comes in? Everett and Julie, and they're a legit item. I was like, okay, apparently they really did find their better half. Still super weird to me, but like whatever. This is a very open-minded family. But the fact that the ornament that is given to Rachel McAdams, Amy, is the exact ornament that Sybil had been playing with at the beginning of the movie. She had been holding.
Yeah, I love it. One of the guys hands it to Meredith, and she walks it over to Amy. And I thought that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say that I thought there was a thing that I would have liked this. Maybe you guys wouldn't. I don't know. There's a moment that Sybil has with with Everett, where when she gives him the ring and she says, "This is yours. This is your ring to do whatever it is you want to do with it. It's for you to decide." And there was a little piece of me that wanted to see Sarah Jessica Parker put an ornament on the tree wearing the ring. And the idea that Everett gave the ring to Ben to give to her. I would have really thought that would have been a really nice, like, sweet, familial thing. But they didn't.
It was my understanding that she thought the ring was crap.
I think
she was like, "That's it."
Yeah, but I think that was also like the old Meredith, right? Like, I think like new freewheeling, like living with Ben, probably has a better appreciation for less of a desire for, you know, the big things in life, appreciating the small things.
Okay.
Because that's sort of like the message, right? Like, she gives them all this gift that she found a photo on his desk and then made copies of it. It's like she did one of the smallest things she could do, and it meant the most to everybody. So, like, I think that's sort of the point for her character, is that, like, she learns the value of the small things, because that's what she's missing in her life. Getting drunk and dancing in a bar with a paramedic she barely knows, you know? It's the small things in life.
Yeah. And I will say, we were both weeping when we realized that Sybil had passed, that she hadn't made it to this Christmas.
Yeah.
And then they pan over to the wall, and there's the picture in a very different frame and matted.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
But like in one aspect, I was like, wow, that's so interesting. But in another way, it was like they loved it so much that they wanted to give it more of an honor by matting it and putting it in this really beautiful frame. And it's like the focal point of the room.
Yeah, in my mind, I imagined that it lived in the original frame until she died. They took it down, used it for the memorial service, put it in a different frame that sort of was a black frame that memorialized her, and that's what they put back up. That's in my brain. Yeah. That's how it happened. But
I also love that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Amy's character is wearing Sybil's pointer finger ring at the second Christmas.
The big chunky square.
The big chunky black one.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah. I want to point out too that the fact that the camera hangs on the photo for so long, in our current moment, Diane Keaton has just died a couple weeks ago. So it was like such a like, and it was actually Diane Keaton in that photo. It's just such a weirdly like poignant moment for us to like begin our holiday film journey on, but also sort of recognizing one of the greatest actresses of our time. You know, check out the Annie Hall episode of You the Right Thing. But I just thought it was really a really sweet, unexpected way to close out that film for us. So,
a lot of people know my fondness for this film. So when her passing was made public, I had a lot of people reach out saying Family Stone's going to hit different this year. So,
and it did, right? Did it? Well, I guess did it? I mean, this is my first time.
I mean, I'm always I cry every time I watch it, but yeah, getting to kind of really celebrate her in that role.
Alexis is fighting it right now. Quick, say something so Alexis doesn't have to talk. She's fanning herself, folks. The tears are real. She's fanning herself. Someone's putting onions.
Yes. So,
yeah.
What's the thing we always say at the end of talking about a movie?
Alexis, would you recommend this movie to people?
Maybe not everyone, because I think it can be overly emotional and like trigger in a way that like can maybe make them think about sad things when you don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
I do think it was beautiful and lovely.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that it's for everyone.
Okay. Meredith, would you recommend this to people?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's what you're going to say. I like this in our bucket. I like this in our movies you should watch before you die bucket. So I'm going to go with yes. I can see your point that it could be triggering, but like how did I feel after watching About Time? How triggering was that for me, right? And in some ways, this sort of evoked a lot of the same feelings. I was like, God damn it, we're doing another one of these movies like right after About Time, and I just spent all that time crying and having a headache. Fortunately, I made it through this one okay. Maybe because my mom is still alive, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I could definitely. I guess small children. Yeah, probably not. But yeah,
well, I think a lot of it is so coded that it may not be inappropriate for kids.
I think it'd be very interesting for kids to
watch.
It
would be very entertaining. Yeah.
True. That's fair.
But yeah, everything has a time, right? A time and place, and so when those kids get old enough, I put it in the bucket. That's what I say. Put that on the poster. Put it in the bucket.
Put it in the bucket.
Love it.
So at the beginning of this episode, you sort of started, Alexis, with hey, it's fine. It was a fine movie or whatever. Is that how you still feel after having talked about it and pretty much crying on camera just now? Or
I was crying because of Diane Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I was very devastated.
Yeah.
When she passed. I do. I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah. You're not any
it
didn't move your meter any one way or the direction having talked about it.
I think I realized how much more of the film I appreciated and a lot of the nuance.
Yeah.
I would not say it's my favorite holiday film, but I think it is very well executed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because when we were watching it, the age-old question that we always have on the show is what is a Christmas film? And
right.
I thought to myself, is this a Christmas film? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But
I think it is.
I mean, yeah. I think
what is more Christmas than families getting together and having dysfunctional conversations?
Yeah, but you can say about a Thanksgiving film, right?
Sure.
Or
but those are aspects of
I just you could have that you could have the same conversation at a family reunion or
I think there's a lot of graduation. I think there's a lot of elements the moment when oh crap, what's the name of the paramedic? I can't think of it right now.
Brad?
Yeah.
Brad. When Brad gives Amy a gift and it's this beautiful snow globe and
yes.
It just is really meaningful to her that he would know that about her and they haven't been in contact in so long. There's a lot of elements that are very Christmas coded that if you tried to put it in a different setting, it would feel more of a stretch. Why would Meredith be giving everybody a gift at a family reunion?
Yeah. I'm fine with you guys deciding it's a Christmas movie. I'm still on the fence about whether a Christmas movie can exist really outside of the movie Klaus or Klaus. Because I think about all those arguments that people make about this is why Die Hard's a Christmas movie. This doesn't really, other than
you were going to bring that up.
Other than this being at Christmas time, it doesn't fit any of the other criteria that people have for that being a Christmas movie, right? So it's interesting. It's an interesting question, but I totally get why it's a Christmas movie, and I think at the end of the day, whether it's a Christmas movie really depends on the individual watching it.
I guess the only real times that it does take place is Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah. But yeah.
At the beginning, it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then at the end, it's Christmas Day, I'm going to say.
Yeah, Christmas Eve again a year later. Yeah, but I mean, again, as we've discussed before, the time of year doesn't really matter whether something's a Christmas, right? Harry Potter has one scene at Christmas. Iron Man 3 takes place entirely at Christmas time. Nobody considers Iron Man 3 a Christmas film.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Meet Me in St. Louis. The majority. It's a Wonderful Life. The majority of the movie is not at Christmas. So, like, I think the important thing is discussing whether a movie is Christmas is the individual person. If they see it as a Christmas film, it's 100% a Christmas film. I think it's like whatever it is to you, Merry Christmas. But it's just fun to think about.
It is.
It's a fun little game. It's a fun little game I play with myself when I watch these movies.
Well, I'm glad we got to kind of bring in this new holiday season. And last week I got this really fun book full of paper. It's like notepads and stationery, bookmarks, wrapping paper, all very Christmassy. I'm gonna put up the tree here soon, so I'm glad we got to start off the season together.
Aww.
Well, thank you for joining us, Meredith.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hopefully you'll want to do it again sometime. We've already done Clue, so I'm sorry we won't be able to do Clue with you.
That's the other DVD I
own. But yeah, so Alexis, what's our next movie?
Our next movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I like how you looked at me to see if that was right. Yes, that's correct.
Wow, I didn't even have to look. I was just
so fancy.
Kind of pulling it. Nightmare Before Christmas. Very excited.
What a memory. You've seen Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Alexis?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I didn't see it until I was in college.
Somebody in this group has not seen it.
Oh. I was not allowed to watch it because my mom thought that it was going to be scary because of the title. So I didn't see it until college. And I was like, this isn't even remotely scary.
Yeah. I'll remind me to tell the story of when I saw this the first time when we do the episode.
Cool.
All right. Well, everyone, that's it for this episode. We'll see you next week. Until then, bon cinema. We did it.